it's Clara the Book Goddess, and today I am bringing you my December book haul. But before I get started, I have one quick announcement, and that is my posting schedule will be changing. I will be posting videos Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday instead of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday that I have been doing due to school. So I'm just going to get into the book haul now because that was the only announcement. So the first book I have for you is The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. This is the conclusion to the Heroes of Olympus series, and I paid $2 for it. I love a good deal, especially on a very good book. I love Percy Jackson. I've always loved Percy Jackson. Without that series, I don't think I would have this channel or be half as big of a reader as I am. So, this series, I can't decide if this series is better, but if you have not read The Heroes of Olympus or Percy Jackson, you totally should, because they're amazing. Also, I picked up Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. This is the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, which I confess I have not read yet, but I'm going to in January. So, I thought it would be nice to have a copy of this around, because I like to mark books every once in a while. If something like strikes me and there's a good quote somewhere, I like to underline it or highlight it. And I thought that the Hunger Games would be a good series to own, so I could mark that because it just seems like one that's going to have a whole lot of things I'll want to mark. Also, I picked up Wit Ur by Laura DiStefano. This concept truly just intrigues me a lot. I don't expect to be allowed to read this until I'm a few years older because it has some mature themes in it, as I have heard researching this book, but at the same time it just sounds very different and good. It is about a world where every woman dies by 20, every man by 25, and so of course there is a lot of conflict going on, trying to make sure that the human race stays alive, and due to this, women are kidnapped and forced into marriages, and for someone that is heartily opposed to being forced into a marriage, I love reading about it, I love writing about it, which is why I am intrigued by this, and I hope to read it someday, but for now, it just looks very pretty on my bookshelf. I also picked up Poison Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is a book I have heard a lot of good things about from Sasha Alsberg at A Book Utopia, which is one of my favorite booktubers ever. So, naturally, I wanted to pick this up. This is about a girl who is going to be executed, but she is offered a job as a poison tester. So either way, she's probably going to die eventually, if not from poison, from old age eventually. Either way, she's going to die. It's either she dies at the hangman's noose, I think, or from a poison. And so, I'm curious to see how that plays out, because she chooses to be the poison tester. I'm like, wow, very, very interesting. A concept that intrigues me greatly. And Legend by Marie Lu, which is a book I have heard nothing but great things about from multiple booktubers. And Marie Lu is an author I have been wanting to read for a while. I was not allowed to read The Young Elites until I'm a little older, but I just kind of want to know what her writing is like, and so I picked this up, hoping to read it very soon. And I also got 3 art copies from my librarian. She gets art copies all the time, and she gave me and a friend 3 each. And these are the ones I picked up. These books are all out, so if they sound appealing to you, you can go pick them up. The first one is Kingdom of Ash and Briars by Hannah West. This came out in September, and is a fantasy novel, I believe, that is kind of a mashup of a bunch of legends and fairy tales, which I personally love in books, but at the same time, it has a sprinkling of Jane Austen's Emma. I have not read Emma. I kind of know the plot to it. I hope to next year, but I'm very curious to see how this author mixed Jane Austen with fairy tales and a bunch of other jazz. I'm like very confused as to how that would work, and I wonder just if it could work well in a story, so that's why I want to read this book, because I saw Jane Austen's Emma with a bunch of fairy tales, and I'm like, I'll try it. Secondly, I have On the Edge of Gone by Corrine Davis. This is a science fiction novel about an autistic girl who's trying to get on a ship that is going to find other worlds for humans to inhabit. They are going to find other worlds because a comet is headed towards Earth and is going to basically eradicate life forever. So, I've never read a book about an autistic character before, and I'm just kind of wondering what that would be like. And besides that, I just want to expand my horizons and read more science fiction, because I haven't read science fiction in ages. So, the final art copy I have here is The Romantics by Leah Conan. This came out in November, and On the Edge of Gone came out in April. I think I forgot to mention that. But The Romantics is a romantic comedy narrated by love itself, which kind of blows my mind. I'm like, that is a genius. And I cannot wait to read this because I love a good romantic comedy. Alright, the next are ones I got for Christmas, and the first one is Thor. This is based on the screenplay for the first Thor movie, which is a favorite of mine because I love Thor a lot. And I think the author is Alex Irving. It was based on the Thor screenplay, as I said. And my sweet brother found this and gave this to me because he knows how hard I search for Thor stuff and have a hard time finding it. He's so underappreciated. And finally, I have Heartless by Marissa Meyer, and I was so excited about getting this book, and I confess I ditched Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows to read this. This was my most anticipated release of the year by far. It is about the origin of the Queen of Hearts, and I love Marissa Meyer and Wonderland, and I was all over this book. I was so curious, and it was amazing. It was just extraordinary, and I loved it. Read it in 2 days. But something else that I really, really love is underneath this dust jacket. It is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Do you see this? It even has a little crown on it. And on the side and the back, it has a little jester hat. And you have to read the book to figure out why there's a jester hat on it. But it was just such a good book. And, oh, I loved it so much. My brother is reading it now. He has a thing for evil women, as I believe I mentioned in previous videos, and he loves the Queen of Hearts and wanted to read it. So I let him. So that's it for this book haul, and I will see you guys Friday with a new video. Bye! I realized I forgot to mention The Eighth Day by Diane K. Salerni. This is a sort of like a Percy Jackson style King Arthur story, and I'm very interested in reading this. So bye again, guys, and once again I'll see you on Friday. Bye. Yeah, I'm not cool, bro. I'm not